presenting. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all my friends and to our lecturer, Madam Midayu. Okay, so today I will be presenting about interview procedures and tips of attending job interviews. Okay, so job interviews, it is important to us because it's like the first step for us to getting a job. So you only get one chance to prove to the potential employer why you are the right candidates for the job. So if you are attending any job interviews in the future, let's make it right, okay? Let's do it together. Okay, so in this presentation, I divide it into 3 parts, which is 3 steps. So there is step 1, what to do before the interview, and then step 2, what do we need to do during the interview, and there's also step 3, what to do after the interview. Okay, so without wasting more time, I think we can go for the step 1, what to do before the interview. Okay, so first thing first is we need to research the company. What do you mean by research the company is by going through the company's website, editorial and annual reports. Or you can also figure out the size of the company, or maybe how many employees that they have, or you can also find out what kind of work environment that they offer. The reason is you will use all of this information to demonstrate your knowledge of the company during the interview. Because as we all know, the most common question that will be asked in a job interview are always that one question, which is, what do you know about this company? Yes, that question always come to our mind. Every time we think about job interview, this question will always pop up in our mind. So that is why you make a research first about the company, so that you did not blank when the question comes, so that they will see that you are fully prepared and interested for the job. Okay, so that's for the first point. The next point is research the interviewer. So after you make a research about the company, you need to make a research about the interviewer. We are not talking with the interviewer, we're just making a research about the interviewer. So how to make research? We maybe can look into their social media, so we can get to know about their life, perhaps can get to know about their lifestyle, can get to know about their personality, or you can also find out their title, experience and overall personality, so that we can know him or her better about how they will communicate with us. This can also help you to prepare questions, so that it can give you more confidence to face him or her in person. And we can also communicate with them better, so that they can feel more like comfortable with us instead of feeling annoying with our presence. Next point is prepare questions. Before the interview, you need to prepare questions. Generate a list of questions that may be asked by the interviewer. This can help you to practice your responses, so that when the questions comes to you, you will not be freaked out, something like that. The reason is this will help you to ease your nerves when it's time for the real thing. So after you prepare question that may be asked by the interviewer, you can also prepare a quiz of question to ask the interviewer, a question that we can ask the interviewer. What kind of question? Anything that will give you a clearer picture of what it would be like to work for this organization or this company. Maybe you can ask about role expectation, the culture, growth opportunities, something like that. Asking question also shows you are not only engaged in the interview, but you are also interested and already think about your future with this company. So that might attract the interviewer or the hiring manager to hire you. Next is prepare copies of important documents. We need to make a copy of your resume or other important documents in advance. For example, like your cover letter, list of references, and other important documents that you feel like you need to bring it with. Because most recruiters will bring a copy of your submitted documents to the interview. But if they fail to, you'll be step ahead. You will be prepared so that if they forget to bring your document, you'll prepare for it. Lastly, for step 1, before the interview, what do we need to do is always, of course, get a good night's sleep the night before the interview day. So you will look better and feel better, because first impression is important. You don't want to look like a lazy person, like a lazy person in front of the interviewer. So make the best first impression. So get a good night's sleep the night before the interview day. Okay. Next is we jump to the second step, which is step 2, what to do during the interview. So what to do is, during the interview, we need to dress for success. Yes, dress for success. We all know that first impression is important when we want to meet someone, especially in a job interview, especially when we meet the interviewer, because it will affect the whole interview and also the mood of the interviewer. So how to dress for success is dress in formal wear, or at the very least maybe a business casual. As for men, if do not own a suit, we can wear a nice dress shirt and slack. That would be nice. As for women, have a little more flexibility. A blouse, blazer, and a long skirt would be nice. Also for Muslimah, you can wear maybe a baju kurung with bawal scarf, or you can add with a blazer perhaps to look more professional, so that you will look like you will look more prepared in front of the interviewer. So what kind of color that is suitable? Any neutral colors such as black, gray, brown, and blue. So the next point is, eat something. Too many candidates make the mistake of not eating before interviewing. Why do we need to eat something? Because it can suffer from lack of attentiveness. Before you go into the interview, eat a meal that contains vitamin E, omega-3, and antioxidants, because this will improve brain functionality and help you to stay alert. Next is arrive early. It is very important for you to arrive at least 15 to 25 minutes before the interview begins, so that you will not be rushing, because when you are rushing, you will get nervous. And when you get nervous, you will drop your confidence level. And when you drop your confidence level, it will ruin the whole of your interview session. Don't use your phone or other mobile devices to pass time when waiting, because sometimes we will get bored when waiting for our turn, or maybe we want to distract ourselves from getting more nervous. So we scroll our TikTok, our Instagram, our Twitter, or any social media on our phone. So to ignore the time, when the time comes, we will not notice about it. So that is wrong. It's wrong to do so. Instead, you can practice your prepared question and responses in your head, and that will be more better for you. Next is take a second before answering a question. Savvy hiring managers can glean a ton of information about you by asking just a few well-chosen questions, which means the savvy hiring manager can collect any important information that they want to know about you by just asking a simple question. The question may be simple, but that's the point, because some questions are designed to get you to reveal the information that you may have been trying to conceal. In other words, they are tricky questions, so just take a second before answering the question. Next is just be yourself. During the interview, you just need to be yourself. Be relaxed and don't try to be someone else. If you try to fit into the perfect candidate mode, you run the risk of masking what should be your strongest selling point. Which means if you try to be like someone else, if you try to be like other people that you feel more perfect than you run the risk of masking, which means like covering your strongest selling point, your strongest what your skills, what your ability. So you will lose that. Okay, if you feel like other candidates seems more perfect than you, then you are wrong, because every person have their own personality, characters, and the benefits that they can offer to the company. So the trick is just make sure that you are showing him or her your best self, your best ability, your best skills, the best character that you have. Okay, so that is step 2. So let's jump to the last step, which is what to do after the interview. Okay, so what do we need to do after the interview? If of course leaving the interview, no one want to stay in the interview room, right? So first thing first is leaving the interview. But how to properly leave the interview? Can you just walk away like nothing's happened? No, no, no. We cannot do that. So the things that you can do is we can shake hands with the interviewer and thank them for their time. Or maybe during this pandemic we cannot touch. So maybe we can give the fist bump, a small fist bump to the interviewer, and thank them for their time, so that they will feel like appreciated. They will feel like appreciated for their efforts, or for interviewing us, or maybe for giving their time for us. So if they don't tell you when they will contact you going forward, ask about their expected decision making period. Okay, and lastly, what you can do is keep your head held high and live with confidence. Don't live with like a nervous person, like a scared person, like a terrified person. Live with confidence. Okay, next is following up. So after an appropriate amount of time, maybe approximately about 24 hours amount of time, follow up with the recruiters. Send each interviewer a thank you note. Why do we need to do that? Because 75% of interviewers confirm that thank you note impact their decision process. So do yourself a favor and send a well-written, personalized responses that reiterates why you are the best candidates for the position. Remember that. Okay. So I think, oh, okay, that is quite fast. Maybe I talk too fast. So I think that is the last point for the third step. Maybe we can do some simple exercise. Just simple exercise. Easy question. So for my first question, the following refer to the things that we need to do before the interview. Except, so you can choose one question, reply in the chat box to answer. Choose one of them. All of it are before what to do before the interview, and one of them will be the opposite of them. You can take 5 minutes, 2 minutes.